Yes, hello guys, welcome back to the channel. Today in this video we will be looking at the ETFs across the board, different sectors and so on. Where are we on the weekly, sometimes the monthly time frame, so it's a long-term view on most of them. As always guys, please like and subscribe, and yeah, I'm just a small guy in this YouTube universe, so if you like what you see, please, a subscription is highly appreciated. And yeah, also on Twitter, you know my handle, uselink_INV. If you're on Twitter, highly appreciate it if you could follow. This is a lovely community, and yeah, it has been an amazing ride, really. So yeah, ETFs, where are we? Let's get into business here, straight into business, the GDX. And actually, I have been cleaning up some of the lines here just to have, in my view, at least, the most important lines on at the moment. Overall here for the GDX, quite clear that we have that massive golden squeeze here going back, yes, 12 years. It's a very, very long ride here. Shorter term, we do have some interesting stuff as well. We have a minor blue triangle coming up here. So let's see how it ends up. Getting a bit, some bidders coming in here, you know, at roughly the $27 level. And hopefully we can grind it higher here for the GDX. Again, until we resolve here, you shouldn't be bullish or bearish in my view, at least if you're looking for a longer term play. Hopefully we get a bounce here. You can see there is some support there at the 27, excuse me. Same thing here again for the GDXJ, that is the gold miner juniors. This one is what we're looking at here. Yeah, nothing more, nothing less. You could argue that you have a line coming down there that was deleted as well. But anyways, we are definitely squeezing up in here. Hopefully we finally get that move that we have been looking for. This is the silver miners double rail up here. And yes, we have a lower down here. That is basically the same thing again. We are waiting to see how this resolves. Hopefully, again, we don't know. Hopefully it is to the upside. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hopefully 5 here will be where it all happens. Again, gold and silver, I think will have an amazing 2024. Again, I could be wrong, obviously, but that is my my take. SILJ, different take here, but we have a golden trend line, very important there. You could also skew it a bit here, so you're hitting these tops here. But again, I think this is a bit more well defined. As long as we hold this wide support here, it's all good. We could add a small time frame in roughly around here in this vicinity, like this. That's also quite important. Again, we have that squeezing up here again. Let's see. URA, I have removed a lot of stuff here. We have been discussing, you know, the move up from the March 2020s and the long-term consolidation, breakout higher here. My take is now this golden trend line that is here, you can see the importance of it coming down there. And then you have a horizontal support, you know, from the 2021 highs. And right now, again, we haven't had a weekly close above. That is pretty much the name of the game here. We tagged it, retested the golden, and now we are hopefully going to blast higher there. My only concern here, at least in the shortish term, is that we have come a long way. That's a massive move from roughly 20 to, let's call it 30. That's a 50% move, a bit more than 50%. But yeah, for now, massive breakout on massive volume. Again, retest, hopefully resumption right there. URNM looks better. It's also a 100% pure play ETF. As you know, the 1.5 years long-term consolidation, massive breakout, retesting of the 2021 highs. Hopefully we are getting resumption right there. Looks incredibly strong as long as we are above. But again, the breakout, the retest, both on volume, higher than the red weeks before and after. It looks quite all right to me as well. URNJ, same thing here. Different take since we have this rising wedge here, trying their breakout, retesting, resumption. Looks all fine in my view as well. Actually, one sector that I'm becoming a bit more interesting in is the lithium. We have a long-term golden support here coming across right there. If we get there, because I don't think we will. However, if we do, I will buy that touch no matter. I don't need any proof of bias there. I find this incredible high value if we get there. Right now, we're still struggling or, playing around with that 2017 support coming across here. We dipped below and now we're trying to get back above that pivot high and back in that major long yellow parallel channel. Also getting back into the blue would be ideal. So there's a lot of stuff going on here for the next few weeks that I'm highly interested in. And people are just very bearish on the lithium. But again, obviously you came from 100 down to 40. So yeah, most people has been shaken out, and I'm looking to see if there is one more move here. Again, a bit early, but I'm very interested in this one here, the lithium. I think there are better plays because this is also some battery tech in it. Yeah, it is what it is, but still, the LIT ticker, the ETF, interesting. It's not a buy at the moment, but definitely I'm looking at it intensely. Roughly every day, every week at least. Well, every day, of course. And then I have the weekly closes that I'm looking at during the weekends. The Brazilian ETF, I have said it many times, I really like the Brazilian market. Again, also with that blue here, breaking out, retesting now up 2.5% today. I think overall this is, it's insanely strong here for the Brazilian ETF. And you're getting paid 6% while you hold. It could easily double here over the next few years, and you're getting 6%. I mean, I really like this emerging market play here. And I have added 2 times, this NVIDIA. Yes, it's not an ETF. I said it many times, but still it is it has been in this video ever since. And also speaking of ever since we broke that level, the $500 mark, we are in a massive green uptrend, and aligned with the golden there and the $1,000 mark. As crazy as it sounds, and I've been very bearish since here, and obviously I have been proven insanely wrong. But could it be that this massive blow off here stops when we get to roughly the 4 digits, and then that's the end of that, getting to the upper golden and going from triple to 4 digits? I mean, I don't know. I'm just following it here. I'm by no means investing into it, and I will never do it. To me, this is the blow off stage in the AI/check sector. And yes, in hindsight, this was just a massive breakout, but maybe I was too biased and I didn't believe it. But clearly, I was proven insanely wrong. We are up $200. That's 40% since. So again, the markets does not care about your feelings or your bias. Clearly, it is in a massive uptrend, insanely strong still, and it takes a long time to turn this boat around. But man, 40% in like what, a month? Yeah, that's a bit. That's a lot given the fact that Nvidia is like, what is it, 1 trillion, 2 trillion, 1.5 trillion? I mean, come on, really? OIH, this is the oil services. Not ideal that this green double band got broken. Clearly, that's not the best. Also, we had that rising wedge here, as you can see. So I'm not interested in it at all. When will I be interested in this one here? If we get down to here and finding bias at 250, then maybe that could be a where you add. But the big one for me is if we get a second retest down here. Also, that will be, the triangle high. The lows right there at roughly 200. But again, I'm not saying that we will get there, but the only concern that I have is that we broke the green support and retested it, and we're now rolling over. So again, I'm just a bit hesitant here. XOP, I think long-term XOP looks really incredibly well. I do think that we have an inverted head and shoulders in play. Of course, we need to get it verified, at roughly 170. But the short-term stuff here again, I don't like the fact that we had that triangle here, pretty damn well defined in my view, and we had that false breakout here coming down and back in again. Usually the false breakouts leads to a touch of the opposite side, and also often you have a breakdown from that formation. As you know the saying, false breakout usually leads to a massive move in the opposite direction. But again, you could also argue that you have a bull flag here. So again, it's not purely bearish, but again, I'm just a bit worried here if we, due to that, false breakout. If we touch there and came all the way down here, I would be massively bullish, a pretty, a 100% intact bullish pennant there, and then my bias would definitely be to the upside. But given that false breakout, let's see. But we do squeeze quite heavily there, so that's, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Long term, I still think there's a lot of value coming in here, especially above that 170. And not tomorrow, maybe within into the later of, Q3, maybe, later Q4 this year. I think there's a massive entry coming our way. We will just have to be patient. I have added the MSOS instead of the POTX, the cannabis ETF. And clearly that is a massive golden trendline break. Should you be buying here after this move up here? In my view, no. Always, we have broken the golden trend line. What we need now is some sort of, an excuse really to enter. That could be a bull flag. That could be, a massive retest. Yeah. But for now, we have this kind of like weird uptrend here, and it is my take that it breaks down, and then we will see if we can possibly get an entry. Maybe, maybe not. But we will be patient. I think patience is, if you have patience, you can come a very long way, in the investing and trading environment. SOXX, I cleared the chart quite a bit here. The 2021 highs there, breaking above, retesting of that red there, should be green anyways, and now we're coming up again. Note this rising golden triangle right there. Again, I still think it's quite bullish. Don't get me wrong. If you delete these two, right, it is very bullish, getting above the previous highs with a retest, and now we're resuming again. So I think the semiconductors looks pretty healthy. Until proven otherwise, that's really the name of the game. We have that some sort of cup and handle there, and yeah, as amazing as it sounds, it looks good. It really does. TAN here, that is the solar ETF. The green uptrend here is very important, and but also we have this yellow parallel channel right there, pretty damn well defined as well. Again, I think the perfect entry will be Monday, the 18th. I mean, that's pretty specific, I know, but that is a massive double support right there. If we get there as well, let's say we get down to there, we will also have a massive bullish divergence between the RSI and the price. I think that could be, I wouldn't be surprised to see a massive bounce if we get down to there. Overall, I still fancy it. And in my view, we have our famous 1 to 3 waves down here. And I do think that we are actually closer to the bottom here than the top. Obviously, the bearish view, if we lose that green uptrend, then it's just a no-go. You need to be out straight away. And you can also get back, you can always get back in if it's a false breakdown. But anyways, you need to get, that's a massive warning in my view. XLE, the good old energy sector, still here in my view. I think it could be that, we have this resistance level here at roughly 93. But in my view, the bounces could be getting smaller and smaller, and ultimately we should break out there. That's really what I'm looking at right now. This kind of, if I can draw somewhat correctly, triangle there with higher lows and a flat top usually. They break to the upside. That's my view on XLE. If we get below, what's that? 77, that double horizontal support here, then obviously we have more downside. We could go down to the golden right there. But for now, it is higher lows and a flat top. That's the main formation in my view. XLF, that's the financials. Pretty damn strong, again, to my surprise. I didn't believe that we were going to break to the upside here. And also the fact that we did it in such a clean fashion, it has been straight up, and we are up from roughly 30 to 40 within a few months. Pretty amazing. And Looks healthy with a higher high here. Again, as I like to say, would I be a buyer here after such a long move on the weekly? No. Definitely looking to be buying pullbacks. But again, this is the financials. And I just saw, some banking charts that were pretty damn scary. You can check my Twitter. I just posted one. So, but anyways, let's see how it happens here. In my view, never buy into such a move here. We need some sort of excuse to buy into that. And definitely buying here with that, negative divergence on the daily is just a big nope in my book. XLRE. This is the real estate sector. Again, I will say, to my surprise, it broke to the upside here, given the high rates. But again, the charts never lie. Let's go to the daily. Massive breakout here of that golden. And now we're actually in a bull flag on the daily. Looks pretty damn bullish to me. And yeah, if it breaks to the upside, in my view, we will have at least, going to the 42. So that's a roughly 10% gain here, a bit more in the short term. Overall bullish chart until proven otherwise. That's pretty amazing against my bias were definitely to the downside. So again, the markets showed me wrong right there. This was actually XME. I just removed some old drawings here. I think we're coming into a massive buying opportunity roughly here very shortly, depending on how you want to do it, between 54 and 50. I think will be a great buy. If we remove that, it is more clear that we have had the retest, and so maybe we won't get that second. But again, overall, the metals and mining broken out of that golden upper trend line here. The green one were not tested the last time around, which was very bullish, that we didn't get the touch. And breakout retest presumption, and yeah, also not the worst kind of thing here. This is COPEX. One line in my view that is important, that's the golden uptrend. If that holds, then ultimately we will break to the upside. Well, obviously. But again, that is my bias right there. As long as the golden holds, it's fine. Ideally, we will stay above this green, support and resistance zone here, ideally. But definitely, let's see how it goes. I think the most important thing for COPEX is if copper can get above $4. That should be the main goal, because above 4, copper should be in for a massive run, easily into 5 and $5.23 per, for the copper. Again, that is a different video. SPX also overall insanely bullish. Again, we broke here, bull flagging there, came into the all-time highs, tiny pullback, a lot smaller than I would have expected, to be honest. And now we're just breaking way above the all-time highs. And as long as we stay above there, the 2021 highs, the SPX looks really strong here. Again, with a bit of a skewed cup and handle. So again, SPX, there's nothing wrong with this chart at all. Again, too many people surprised, really. It looks okay. Same thing here again for the NASDAQ. Skewed cup and handle, boom, boom, there it is, above the all-time highs. I mean, it looks... I will not spend much time because it looks really good, to be honest. Again, I think that move is entirely lifted up by this AI craze. Yeah, that's my view. That doesn't make it incorrect, obviously, but fan here is the global wind energy ETF. I have one simple line that I'm watching here. Until we break that, it's a no bueno for me. We have our 3, spikes, lower lows there, which is nice to see. But again, until we break, it doesn't mean that we will. Then to me, it is a no-go. And we have this golden here. So as you can see, we have a triangle here that is getting very important. Bullish, bearish, nothing more. It is that easy sometimes. 2 lines that will define your outcome. This is hydrogen. I think hydrogen is very interesting as well. Maybe not the ETF, but if you look at some of the stocks, I think there is a a trade or two that could potentially do quite well in the medium term. But again, overall golden downtrend there. We have an internal green trend line there, which needs to break. If we break, I think we will go to here, the upper golden. and then we actually have a chance of breaking. Also notice this tiny, low there, divergence up here on the weekly. Again, I think we could actually break out here quite heavily on the hydrogen ETF. It's hated. No one is talking about it at all. That's always good to hear. I add this WTAI. It was requested from someone on Twitter or YouTube. I can't remember. But this is basically, the artificial intelligence VAI ETF from Wisdom Tree. Again, overall, higher highs, higher lows. Looks like an uptrend. It is an uptrend. Also note we have this neckline here with that inverted head and shoulders. The levels are pretty damn well defined. I haven't done the measured move. Maybe we can do that. Can I do that roughly? This is a very quick sketch. So again, it seems like there's more upside. Let's see if this some sort of flag here could also, it's up a bit higher. But anyway, if we come down and test that blue, then, these two targets actually align pretty well. So again, a buying opportunity in my view, if we come down to roughly 18, always have your stops, in order. But then again, from 18 to 24, I think that is a great risk-reward entry. If that happens again, I have no idea if it does. But again, then, the flagpole here to the neckline, measured move there, aligns up more or less perfectly at roughly 24. That is all. I actually think it has been quite a few weeks since we did the ETFs, and that's all my bad. But I have some people on YouTube recommended that we do it again, and obviously, yes, we should. We should look into these every single week, because then we know where we are, and we only use the weekly. So the daily, 4 hourly, 1 hourly is just basically noise, more or less. That is all, guys. Have a great day, and again, please, a subscription, that would be highly appreciated. Again, if you like what you see, if you don't, obviously, you shouldn't get me one. Guys, have a great rest of your day, wherever you are in this sometimes crazy world.